day. Got the little guy to school. I went to Lowe's, got me another. I needed 2 more wheels, 2 more caster wheels for this thing I was building yesterday. But chill out, smoke. Take a smoke break.
Brings back a lot of memories. It was a really wild time of my life.
Well, relax, Brett.
I've never spoken about what happened.
What's going on?
But I feel like I'm finally ready to tell my side of the story. I think the best place to start would be
Smoke a little, watch a little TV, eat something. Try to chill out a little bit today, I guess. I don't know. I gotta work tonight. Back to work tonight.
Target spotted.
I'm supposed to be washing dogs because these fucking dummies like pissing their cage overnight. But I don't feel like doing all that.
We spent months planning a job on security event.
I'm gonna do like 1 or 2 today, 1 or 2 tomorrow. I'm gonna spread it out. I don't feel like washing all the fucking dogs today.
It was the biggest.
It's really not all. It's just the ones that were in the cages.
But before we could get to the cash, we had to take care of the security guards.
Gentlemen, put your hands on the windscreen.
On the inside of the cab, they've got a panic button, so we needed to get to put our hands on the windscreen.
I said, put your fucking hands on the windscreen.
Even with a shotgun pointed at their faces, some security guards tried to be heroes, so I made sure that we had a backup plan. The security van's bulletproof, but it's not bomb-proof. We didn't want to harm anybody. We just wanted to scare them into just doing what we wanted to do. If someone put it on the side of your car and it looks like a landmine, what are you going to do? The only way to get into the back of that van is to make a hole in it somewhere.
Go.
But you don't want it to be like it was on the Italian job when they blew the whole fucking van up.
You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
So, why not make something? Smash the doors open in the back without damaging the money.
She's my picture.
There's nearly £9 million in little cages inside. But as soon as the police turn up, we know we're not going to have time to get that money out. From then on, it was get away.
Armed and masked robbers used a van equipped with a steel spike to ram a Securical van early today. There were reports of shots being fired. Police say it was a well-planned attack.
It was.
What is this? How are you doing today? I'm going good.
This job was supposed to be my
Everything good here. Day 2 of asking to be a mod. What the fuck does that mean? Gotta explain what that means. I don't know what the hell that means.
Then you bounce back up and you go again.
I like the new Lincoln.
Oh, the some place for that.
Class. I like your martini and the bird on the glass.
My role model growing up would be my father, I suppose.
Living. You wait and see.
We go down the local pub and meet up with all these old sort of gangsters.
Whoever made it a law that it's wrong to go and get what you want. If a liar wants something to feed his babies, he goes and gets it. So we do the same.
Respect what they do and how they carry themselves. I was in that little crowd with them, and you want to be like them.
Yeah, but what is that? Why would I need that? What would I do that for? Like, what is that gonna give me? Is what I'm trying to say, huh?
They might not know exactly what you're doing for it.
Do I get some money somehow out of this? I mean, that's really all I care about. Is there some cash involved in this deal or something?
Lie in your bed, you're asleep, and all of a sudden your bedroom door's
Sounds like I gotta do some work.
open.
Like, come on, that's gotta cost something.
I think they're all a bunch of cunts. When I was younger, I was going to do anything. Hurry up! Lee, come on! Hurry up! But the first thing I really stole was JCB.
For a second, I thought I said pornos. I was about to say, whoa, wait a minute. Got my attention now. Homo. I don't worry about stuff like that, man. I'm not worried about stuff like that.
Just like it's down there again.
Tell you what, if it ever crosses my mind, I'll keep you in mind, okay?
I started getting into
The promos.
cigarettes and then taking out cash points.
Shit.
I didn't want to just be like Davis Joe and just go to work every day. I just want to be different.
I can swear, right? Yeah, thank God for that, 'cause it's like my language. Even if I go out, yeah, I'll be in a pub, I don't know anyone in there. I guess I'll go bloody mental, but I'm like, no, I don't go out. And they're like, you are, we saw him. And we're like, everyone knows our family. If you mention when, it's like, oh yeah, you know.
What did you think your dad did for a living?
We never asked. It was a question that was never asked. Actually, no, I actually remember asking him because I was in school and it was like, you know, what does Mummy do? What does Daddy do? And the answer was always, you don't want to know.
I never wanted my kids to say what I was up to. And I tried to hide it as much as I could. Didn't want them going down the same path.
He was very good at hiding everything he was doing. He wouldn't look known at all. I just remember him always being really protective over me and my sister all the time. Me and my sister were my dad's world.
When I got to my 20s, I was more or less there, what I wanted to achieve. Well, I made a lot of money, I was
That's
comfortable.
her mama.
I had no
That's her
problems.
son. That's mama. That's Isis. Mama Isis right here.
And I just wanted the respect of people.
She's a good
Like,
mama.
people looked at them,
You're a good
the
mama.
respect they gave them.
Don't. And here comes jealousy right here, my
I wanted to do
precious.
something really big.
Precious is a real jealous girl. She's like, nobody gets love but me. You are my
And then in
favorite.
July 2000, my dad introduced
Don't
me
worry,
to
okay?
Raymond.
You don't worry.
Mine's very well connected. He's a big fish in London, in the
You
criminal
get the
world.
most love. You get the most kisses.
Very
You
sort
get the
of,
most everything.
very suave.
Hmm?
He has very dark eyes, like sharp eyes. Look into his eyes, you can see he's
She's
around
my girl.
himself, you know. If you crossed him, yeah,
She's my
you know
girl.
you'd be in trouble.
You my girl?
A lot of trouble.
My baby? Huh? Get out of here now. Jealousy. Gotta be careful, okay, because she's watching.
They told me that he was planning something really big. We're going to need my help. It's going to take a lot of careful planning. But if we can pull it off, it means everyone gets a big payday. That's what it means. Ray told me the target he was going for.
Ain't no stranger going to be a mod. Yeah, I don't even know what that's about, Karma. I'm trying to see, like, what do I get out of it?
I've worked in national newspapers
Sounded like nothing.
30 odd years. And when they built the Millennium Dome, it had disaster written all over it. And I thought, wow, that was a story that was going to sell newspapers. The great thing about newspapers, particularly tabloid newspapers, is that things change so quickly. At the end of the 20th century, it was an amazing period of change in Britain. No retreat from the road to the future. There was a new government that was led by a guy called Tony Blair. There was something that was called Cool Britain. We had Britpop, we had Oasis, we had Blur, we had the Spice Girls, and they were setting fire to the world. TV was exploding, social media was starting to appear, the internet. It was a great, exciting time.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like... Wait a minute, so that sounds like I'm giving somebody some power? Yeah, that's never gonna happen.
In their excitement to try and the millennium coming, they decided they were going to
Yeah,
build the
right.
Millennium
Yeah,
Dome.
that would work.
This is Britain's opportunity to greet the world with a celebration.
There were going to be lots of
I'm all
exhibitions,
about power. That's all I
and
want.
they got De Beers to create effectively a museum of diamonds. I was always interested in beautiful things, but the diamond is very special. It's like magic. Something draws you to it and then you can't let it go. Diaco and myself are in the business of diamonds, and we specialize in the very, very rare diamonds.
Very
In the middle
rare.
of the 1990s, there was a stone that was discovered in a very remote area in Zaire, which is supposed to be the greatest stone of times. I can show you how it looks. I think I have it here. This was the rough. It was 777 carat, which is extremely unusual. And
Roughly.
the amazing thing is normally when you get big diamonds, they are of very low quality. But this was extremely clear, what we call ice material. The way it presented itself in the rough was a freak of nature. Then what runs through your head is, I have to cut this stone. When it was finished, I was convinced that we made the most beautiful diamond in existence. 203 carats. We called
Damn.
it the Millennium Stone.
You can't imagine how I felt. It's beautiful.
If the board had asked me where should we display this, the place I would have said to you was Greenwich, because you know that Millennium Dome wasn't an area to display diamonds. They never really had a look around Greenwich because it was a bit of a dump place, I think. It was a sort of run down after the Second World War. It was a long way from the beers and not close by as such.
East London isn't exactly known as being the natural home of diamonds and precious things, not least because
You watched Kingpin? What? That was like, you watched it again, or that was your first time? It cannot be your first time.
the notorious
Kingpin.
crane robbers came from out here.
Nah, yeah, that's.
Endless gangsters were based out in that area. And yet De Beers were putting on an almost obscene display of incredible wealth. Maybe that wasn't such a good idea.
Maybe not.
It's basically a tent with a flat concrete floor and nothing else. So it was a back to a bull. Actually, still these particular diamonds. We had to build something there that enabled us to be ensured that when the diamonds were put in there, they couldn't be stolen. First of all, we built a hexagonal vault, which was 3 feet thick, with these metal bars inside it. This wouldn't stop people trying to drill through it and withstand penetration of something like an arc vehicle trying to smash through the sidewalls.
Maybe I'll watch that today. I ain't watched that one in a minute.
Any human from literally a fly will set these things off.
Boy, what are you picking up? It's not on the ground for you.
And these were fed back to our security room with
What you got there? Let me see.
a day to cover whatever was going on inside. Now the next thing is display cabinets. They were very important. And I remember paying something like £56,000 for this impregnable glass. It was stated by the company that a demented person with an ice axe, after half an hour, might be able to penetrate the glass. It wasn't for the books. No doubt about
That's what they do. She plays with her son. Amazon's here.
Ray told me the target they
Go
was
sit down.
was
Hey, for you.
medium style. Crazy. It was a little bit far-fetched, I think. A bit too out there. Too much attention at the time. It was just too big, it was too public. But Ray told me, if we can pull it off, that'll be the biggest host of all time.
Hey.
Robbers got away
Oh,
with nearly 3
oh,
tons
no.
of gold bullion from the Brixmat vault at Heathrow Airport.
The 3 armed raiders emptied 126 boxes of millions of pounds worth of jewellery.
Mugger threatened him, forcing him to hand over £292 million.
Ray said I was going to get £1 million. £1 million sounds good to me.
What did Ray tell you he was going to keep the diamond?
I was just not going to nick them and just put them in the cupboard. So I had a buyer, but I don't know who it was. I didn't want to know, to be honest. I didn't say no, but I left it a couple of days, and in that time, I went out to have a look for myself. I took my daughter Beth with me. Just thought if I had a family with me or a doctor with me, then I would just sort of blend into everyone else.
There was never a plan for Daddy's home past the bus. So it was literally just woke up and he was like, right, I've got a day out, get in the car, we're going to go on the day. So this is a great day out. This is so fun for us. I don't know the reason why
Just
we're
a
there.
box fan.
They walked into the dome, walked around, had a show on inside, and there was some display of ropes and stuff.
I wonder though how this one is. Let's see. It's a little different from the last one I had.
And you walked the whole way through it.
Trying something different. Let's see if it's
Organs were like there, next to you.
how this one works.
Giant in your face. I don't know who came up with that idea, but it was creepy as hell.
Thought it was shit.
Millennium Dome organisers have shocked the world today by announcing they've sold hardly any tickets. This is due to bad advertising or because it sounds like the most rubbish day out ever.
Easy boys, okay. There was this general feeling of failure about it.
What's wrong with the dome? There must be something wrong with it.
It got to the point where it was becoming the butt of comedians' jokes.
Where are they taking you then?
The Millennium Dome.
Oh yeah, I'm really sorry about that.
The only exciting thing was the diamonds. As you walk in, there was 11 blue diamonds in the cabinet.
I remember just thinking, wow, look at those, they're so pretty. And like every little girl, you're like, diamonds, I want a diamond. And I actually remember asking my dad, I was like, can I have maybe you took that too seriously.
The main Millennium Star was in like a circle glass. It was something to see. I was amazed how big it was. The colours of it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It just gleams everywhere you look at it. Thinking about it now, the mistake when I put it where it was. It's in that part of London, it's just one place of fence in it. I don't put it last day. I was thinking, obviously we've got to have it.
I'm thinking this other one.
You know, it's not like film. So I knew it was obviously going to be a lot heavier than what I've ever done before. There was a big risk. But I just thought we could do this. It's not going to be easy, but we can do it. I wanted to be involved in something really big. And it couldn't get much bigger, is it? So let's go for it.
Well, I think it'll be just
Get
fine.
inside the dome, get into the vault, get the diamond, and then get away without being called by the police.
Let's see.
But me and Ray couldn't do it on our own. You can't do a job of this caliber with two people. You do need a big team to cover every base. The first thing, we needed someone who could get into the diamond cases. Someone who was quite good with tools and stuff like that. Bob Adams was like a handyman. I was always joking. You've got a joke that she's good for. That's all characters.
Funny out. Get the fuck out of here.
Took the whole job like it was just another day of going to the office.
Well,
The second person that we needed was someone who could handle things if it got rough. Someone who wouldn't hesitate to do the business. Bill Cochran was his right hand man, really. Any security guards tried to get involved, then Bill would be there to sort that. The next person that we needed was someone who could be in charge of the technical side of things.
Forest Raid towards Kingsway.
Aldo was younger. He knew Ray and Bill from South London. I thought he was, devil ladies man. You would never think he'd be into doing things like this. but he obviously was. The final person we needed was someone who had a lot of experience doing robberies. Oh, brilliant. So that's why we come on to Terry. Terry was a fucking nightmare. He was a proper East End gangster, Terry was. Wouldn't blink an eye, pulling a gun out and shooting someone. Nothing phased him. Thank you. So, we had a team. Now we need to get to work.
Oh yeah, there's some like bug zapper thingies.
Ray was talking about how to get into the dome when it closed at night. Obviously you can't drive into the dome because of all the obstacles in the way. So I went back to the dome and tried the place. Just started slowly walking around the dome again, trying to figure out a way to get inside. The outside skin of the dome, it's got shutters where you can get in. Massive big roller shutters. I think they're made of perspex and aluminium. Outside the dome, there were these really big steel gates. I knew it was going to take something big to smash through. Then I realised there was a lot of building work going on around the dome. And I just thought, why don't we use JCB? The JCB could go through any part of the dome. It'll knock every obstacle down along the way. You know, it's like a tank. A tank in disguise. I knew the JCB was going to work 100%. I stole the JCB, put it into a little safe house that we had to get it ready. And that was that.
Bug zapper.
Diamond case was really thick glass. You're not going to put a diamond like that in just behind a piece of stock glazing. You can stand all day with a sledgehammer. It's not going to go through. So we were thinking for hours and hours how to get through those cases. And then I realised that you have to weaken it first. I suggested that we use a Hilti gun. The Hilti gun is a nail gun, fires nails through steel. Everyone's a bit sceptical about it. They didn't think the nail gun would be strong enough to break the glass. I said, listen, let me get one and then show you. I knew it would work.
He's a one-off, but yeah, I don't think it was ever on his mind to just be normal. and have a normal job. But he's in a different world.
Well, I come from a gypsy travelling family. When we were kids, we would be in a caravan, travelling from one place to the other. We didn't really sort of socialise with a lot of people, none of our own people. Gypsies don't go to an office, go and work 9 to 5. We do things differently. I'm dyslexic and I'm really struggling with my reading and writing. So I was pulled out of school when I was 12, and then I was going to work with my dad. From then on, every day was something to do with crime. And I was getting good at it. I went back to the dome a dozen times. The vault itself was so big and so thick, you're not going to get in there without digging through it. It will take a long time. And if you use explosives, the diamond could end up in the river. So what's the point of that? How the fuck are we going to get into that vault?
The vault door was made of solid steel, about 2 feet thick. It needed 2 men to open or shut the thing. That's how heavy it was. I was completely confident that it was pretty impregnable.
What if someone had the code? What? They get it anyway.
No, the vault door was on a time lock. It would be set for the display times, which were 9 o'clock in the morning and finishing around about 6 o'clock in the evening. So when the doors close, you set the time lock and you can't open it. Of course, there's always somebody who's probably brighter than you are who may be able to break in. But I felt that it would be a very special team to do that.
The plan was always to do it when the dome was closed at night. But I was thinking, when's the best time to go in there when the door's open? The only problem doing it in the daytime is obviously people. Someone would get on their phone and call the police straight away. Someone would get hurt. But there was no other choice. You had to go in there when the door was open. So we needed to figure out the best time in the day to go in. And that's when places
Oh, nothing else was going on. What the hell?
that worked at the dome said he could help us out.
I was a highly respected policeman in South
Oh,
London.
shit. Why are you doing that?
I remember my first day within the job in Peckham, and within less than 30 minutes, there was a struggle, and it ended up with a knife at my throat like this. It was pretty scary and frightening. But in 1999, I had the opportunity to work on a Millennium Dome team. They were a team to patrol the outside perimeter of the dome. And I can't say it was the most exciting job I've ever done. One of the things they did was offer complimentary tickets to the policing team. So I gave them to my wife, and they've ended up with her sister. I was on duty that night, patrolling outside. My wife's sister came out with her boyfriend. He introduced himself as Ray Bettison. He said he was a property developer. He clearly had a good lifestyle, money, where he was very smartly dressed. He was very suave. I mean, the best way to describe him, he looked a little bit like a James Bond figure. He could have been James Bond.
Hell, man. What am I?
We spoke for about a couple of minutes. Ray thanked me, and they went on their way. I to see Ray at family gatherings. And he was always pleasant to talk to, very charming, always really polite to my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, and my wife. You know, always seemed the perfect gentleman. Then, one day, Ray turned up at my house. Ray said to us, "Would it bother you if I told you I'm not a property developer, I'm an armed robber?" I was thinking maybe he's winding me up. But he was very sincere, very controlled. And then he says, "I've come up with a way to give you some money. You provide me with information. As a result of that, I'll be able to give you £250,000. I felt a sort of disbelief, if you like, that it was even happening. Ray made it clear that he was very professional. He led a very trusted team of armed robbers, and that everything was planned down to the last detail and nothing could go wrong. What Ray was suggesting was that I joined his team as the inside man, so that his team commits armed robbery based on the information that I would provide him.
Dun, dun, dun. I guess I gotta charge this thing? Is that how it works?
Committing crime. But £250,000 is a lot of money.
Sure is.
Ray told me we were going to get the day first thing in the morning. After sort of 10 o'clock, coaches started coming in. Then it was busy until it closed at night. Inside the dome it was a big space, so you know that area would be moderately quiet. Ray said that at that time security guards were absolute shit. There was just like 4 or 5 people walking around with a walkie-talkie. So going in at that time in the morning is the only time it could be done.
How long do I charge this shit for?
This is the Millennium Dome. The dome was built on a peninsula, so it's just one way out.
Damn, I'm not how I drive. I gotta use something.
You're never going to get away with a van or a car. It was just too risky. The last robbery didn't work. Well, the getaway was perfect. So why don't we just use another speedboat? You're on the Thames, right by the river. Best thing to use. Luckily, Bill Cochran knew a boatman and spoke to him, and he got him on board.
And who was that?
Kevin Meredith. He was quite angry with the speedboat. So that's the getaway sorted. And so we're getting close.
What do I say? I don't know. We'll find out.
We're all ready to go. Everything was in position. Really didn't think it was going to work. JCB coming along here. This is where we crash through the side of the dome. Drive round the dome to the diamond vault. Bill and Bob will go into the vault. Get the diamonds. The speedboat is going to come over to here. Pick it all up from there. The speedboat goes across the Thames to Terry. And then Terry drives away with everyone in. Now we all live happily ever after.
This is a huge risk you're taking, isn't it? Did you think about the consequences if it didn't work out?
But I just blocked it out. Wanted to carry on what we were doing. This job would cement a legacy for me. And I get a lot of respect for doing it. I'd be someone. But obviously I don't do it with my daughters. And I wanted to slow down and start being more responsible. Go a straight life. So I decided to myself, this was going to be my last job.
Alright. Time to get in this kitchen and do something. Let's check this light, baby. Charged, almost there. Damn puppies, man. I just keep pissing everywhere. Hot puppies. You little shit. Ah. Y'all stink, puppies. Y'all really stink. Laundry. Keep up, keep up, keep up. I gotta do as much as I can today at least. Try to get as much done. The work week about to start and I'm gonna be I'll be out of energy. I'm hungry. What we got? Look in the leftover piles. What we got? Oh, yeah. Let me see. Shh, Bruno. Shh. Scram, Bruno, scram. We got some leftovers. I could just heat it all up in there. Bruno, get out of here, man. There ain't nothing here for you. Go on, I'll get you some in a little bit. I'm always hungry. Some rice with some red beans. Put some of this in here. Like it. probably won't eat it all, but this shit going go to waste anyways. Alright, we're doing something. We're heating up something here. We're gonna eat something. Let me see if I can make this somehow something special. Let me see. I got some tortillas still. Now what happened to the chips too? The chips are all gone too? These motherfuckers, I swear. That's all they good for, just eating up everything, huh? They don't clean up a damn thing and they eat up everything. I can't wait till they turn 18. Oh man, I can't wait. Come on, dude, buddy. No, you better stop that. Nobody here, huh? I'm all alone. Time to wild out then. Where's the fuck is my fucking weed pipe? What the fuck did I do with it? One second, you're sitting there smoking weed right now. Weed pipe is- Oh, Bruno, that's all you little fuckers do is wake up and go pee. Sorry, little puppy. Can't love you too much, because then I fall in love too much and I gotta keep you. I can't do it. Can't give them names, can't do nothing. Just like, y'all gonna go. Y'all have to go. Gotta find y'all homes or something. Worst comes to worst, you go in a shelter. They'll hook you up, I think. They care. They say they do. Okay, we got some money. It's crazy how that works. They make you pay for it, or they withhold the knowledge of it. Either way, fuck. Alright, I got me a little something. Just for now, I don't know. Turn that off. Back to the other side.
I was at my car and I got a call from Johnston Field. They were looking at a guy called Lidway.
Bruno, get away.
And they were looking to do what we would term lifestyle surveillance.
Oh, Bruno.
Any time that me went and left the farm, we were tasked with following him
Move, Bruno.
to see where he went, what he was up to, who he was meeting, where he was going. It could have been something like this, you know, sitting in a cafe, meeting somebody, just doing normal things that people are doing, not necessarily up to no good. But it was unpredictable. We never knew what was going to happen.
One day at the beginning of August, he left the farm and we suddenly started heading towards London. We hadn't been to London before with him. Eventually, we end up pulling off going away, and he parks up at the Dome. He then goes inside.
That was a complete surprise to all of us because the Dome had a bit of a reputation as a damp swim.
It's a tourist attraction that doesn't seem to hold any attraction.
It wasn't somewhere that I would have visited by choice, put it that way.
Nobody knows what it's for, but nobody knows who it's for. It's landless. Why would Lee Wenham want to go to the Dome?
We deployed on foot to follow him in. He was with a female with a kid. And he was doing what everybody else does, looking at the exhibitions. And then he goes into the De Beers exhibition, and I go in there as well. It's very small in there, very confined space, it's very dark. There's a central glass cabinet with the Millennium Star in it. He stayed inside the exhibit for 5 minutes, and then he carried on with his day.
We came away at the end of that day thinking, well, it's just a day out at the Dome. Then, probably about a week later, he follows the same route that he went the week before. All of us were thinking, well, he can't be going back to the Dome again. But he pulls into the car park and enters the Dome. We accept that a few people are going to go and visit the Dome, but nobody goes to the Dome twice.
Have you got a ticket for the Millennium Dome? No. No. Do you like to come back?
No, not particularly.
There has to be a reason he's driven all the way from Kent, paid again to get in.
The Dome had lots of little retail outlets and businesses with cash going in and out. So it might have been an attack on a cash office in the Dome. But it wasn't a great deal of money. So the risk isn't worth the reward.
At that time, he went straight to the vault. And while he was in there, he was looking very closely at the diamonds. He had a camcorder with him and was recording.
And he was observed looking at cameras up on the wall and appeared to be making notes. It was like, in our opinion, something like a reconnaissance. So from what we're seeing, I felt he was going to steal the Millennium Diamonds straight into the main password.
Well, I think the initial reaction was, that can't be. It would just be too audacious.
Outlandish. Some ideas about what they wanted to do.
The reality was they'd done 2 robberies, both with multi-million-pound payoffs. They'd been unsuccessful and they were looking for their 3rd big job, and this fitted that. But this was not their usual load that they went after. It upped the scale and the value of what they're doing. So we felt that there had to be new members of the gang involved in the job, capable of pulling off this robbery. I never thought that Wenham was brains behind the idea, but we became convinced that Tom Farm was the key to identifying the gang leader and the main perpetrators involved. Comfortably operate, plan, prepare
for the day. Don't let me waste my money. No, I see you in the bar. I'm being off. Made new money, now I got a new laugh. You think he's paying me well, so I ain't gonna be the one to go and find a new car. No,
We place cameras at the entry and exit points to the farm.
we ain't gonna go and find a new boss. Backing up to everyone and buying new cars.
It meant that we could actually capture faces in various vehicles straight up.
Camera 1 is up.
What's away off? So when I get one, I'm gonna pull away off. I make money slow, I make money fast, and I keep it like Johnson. My base car.
Camera 2 is up.
We also decided that we would use human surveillance that would be camouflaged in the environment.
Camera 3 is up.
But surveillance sport his problems. Lee Wellham only had to be lucky once and find a camera lens. The job would have been blown. We were regularly reviewing footage, and on one occasion we see on the monitor the arrival of an individual that we identified as being Bill Cochran. Bill Cochran was involved in a wide range of criminal things. He'd been arrested for violence and theft.
Cochrane and Wenham did a proper reconnaissance of the Millennium Stone. So we felt sure that Cochrane was going to be one of the people up front on the robbery.
Cochran was a heavy hand. He didn't feature as somebody with the organisational capability to be the leader of the gang. The next face we identified was Bob Adams. Adams had a previous conviction for a serious assault, as well as importation of cocaine. But he never ever featured in our understanding as having any other role other than a supporting role.
On a further visit to the dome, we had another person with Wenham. They went outside, sat down on a bench and viewed their own footage of the exhibition. And that person we've identified as Elno Cherokee.
He had very, very little criminal offences to his credit, a lot younger than the other criminals. So we didn't think that he would be running the operation. Who was putting this job together? And then one day we see this Cochrane turn up with somebody who we hadn't seen before. He just had a demeanour and a confidence about him. His dress, his mannerisms, he appeared to look like a classic gangster. And the comment in the room was, it looks like the general inspecting his troops. We managed to identify the person as being Ray Benson.
Ray Benson to me reminded me a bit of Tony Soprano. He wasn't someone to be messed with. He was a big guy who was in control.
We felt that he was the one who had the connections and the resources for the robbery. But it left a question mark. Was it realistic they could get these diamonds? We needed to speak to somebody at De Beers.
I wasn't surprised that someone's going to try and steal the diamonds because it's the first time that this value was on the display in what looked like a tent from the outside. So if I was a robber, I would probably think the same way.
We posed the question, can they do it?
I think that's just about impossible to happen. I thought it was pretty impregnable.
Huh.
The vault, which was 3 feet thick, with these metal bars inside it, it was strong enough to withstand the penetration of something like an armored vehicle trying to smash through the sidewalls. It was extremely well built.
He felt they were securing the vault. But they were vulnerable when they were going to be taken from the vault. He said they were about to be taken to Tokyo for a few weeks.
This was clearly of interest for us. We knew that they had the incentive and the bravado to do high-risk robbery on the streets. Now, here was a chance where the diamond was going to be transported out of the dome. We were fairly confident that this was where they were going to go for it.
I was Specialist Firearms Officer. Working within SO19, we were the equivalent of an American SWAT team. When the fire squad know that they're going to be up against criminals that are heavily armed, they call us.
Who goes there?
In August 2000,
Who is
the fire
it?
squad approached us and said,
Run.
we anticipate that a team of heavily armed robbers are going to conduct a robbery in transit. Help us out.
We decided that we would escort a security van containing the diamonds from the dome to Heathrow Airport. I thought that the van was going to get stopped in slow-moving traffic and the vehicle was going around the back of it. I thought that we were going to see Gertie 3.
So we had to look at ways in which we could get through blocked traffic quick enough to arrest them. So I made the suggestion that we should get hold of some military helicopters. Then we were in a position where we could drop heavily armed SWAT guys wherever they were needed. In addition to that, we're going to put unmarked, discreet vehicles in the front and back of the security van.
When they tried to stop the van, we would be waiting for them.
Yeah.
The security van collected the diamonds. And as they came out of the dome, the follow started. We had to be able to follow it covertly. Because if they saw us, they'd just evaporate.
We'd sat on helicopters with all their weapons. We still didn't know where they were going to do it.
We identified that one of the weak points being the Blackpool Tunnel. There were options there for them to block the road.
Everybody was in a state of high trepidation. We were listening for anything that might be a clue that something was about to take place.
We went through the Blackpool Tunnel. Nothing was seen. And then we made our way through the streets of East London. And all of a sudden, we start to feel a little bit more vulnerable. something were to happen, I can't move, I can't get out because we're stuck in traffic.
And then we went to roadworks.
All units stand by. Stand by.
The level of threat is increasing. I felt this was the moment that they were waiting for.
But it comes to nothing.
As we got closer to Heathrow, we reached a point where we were in fast-moving traffic, and it became less likely to happen. Eventually, we get to Heathrow Airport. The divers were then put safely on the plane.
And then they just went, that's it, no show, the robbers haven't turned up.
We came away from there completely deflated. We built ourselves up thinking, this is where it's going to happen. What has derailed this?
Did they have inside information as to when this was happening? Is there a possibility we could have been seen? My biggest fear was that if they had thought the flying squad was in the ether, they would have decided not to go through with it. And we would be back to square zero again.
There was monumental pressure for various reasons. The money that's spent on it, the time, the resources that have gone into it. There was a lot at stake to get this right and for it to be a success.
The surveillance continued. For the first few days after the convoy, it went quiet. There was nothing really to report.
So what we have with this battery.
We started to think that they've decided to forget their plans.
But then there is a phone call to me from SO11. They said, we've just seen a JCB turn up at the phone. Surveillance officers could hear loud rigging driving the JCB. As they went over, and that obviously raised the spectre of why.
Then on one afternoon, we were surveilling Terry Moore. He'd come out of Tom Farm and we followed him. We ended up at a store in South London where he bought a Hilti gun. Hilti gun is an alcohol fires an alpha still. We were getting quite excited because we knew exactly what Hilti gun we purchased for.
Oh shit. Well, I think I'm not done eating. You gotta fill up for the night, you know? Pause it. So we got some bread still. Let me see. still got bread, yo, yes. I'm not immune to making a sandwich. Maybe two. Fuck it, be crazy, Rick. See what happens. See what we got. What we got for the sandwich? We see we got lettuce. We got mayonnaise. Mustard. I know we ain't got no tomatoes though. I know that much. Let's think about this. What else do we use? Do we got pickles? We might have a pickle or two left in there. A couple of quick little sandwiches. Bruno, I'm finna feed y'all, relax. Y'all gonna eat too, I know. They just watching me eat thing out there like, man, when are we gonna eat? I'm gonna feed y'all a little later. Everybody gonna eat later. My turn again. Cheese on it. Put cheese on it. Trying to get it melting. Right. Right on here. And these right here. Lettuce. I said I saw two of these. One, let's It's like one and like a half of one. Woo! Pickle juice. What else? Man, what else we throw on here? Really? Yeah, really. Got some milk. I don't feel like cutting all that. If only we had a tomato somewhere. Just one. My pepperoncinis. I feel like the day's getting away from me. Already 12, pretty soon it'll be time to leave. Together now. That's it. That's all we got today. That was some chips and we're good to go. This. Definitely gonna need this. Let's take the phone with too. iPad is pretty much charged up. You back to the shopping block over here. It's like I'm starting to think now. It's like this ain't charging shit, right? You gotta have it connected to the Usenet. Why does it say charge, you crap? We're already not starting off good here. Alright. If that's the case, I'm gonna need to think about how I'm gonna use this. See, this don't fit. This don't fit. Come on. p.m. Oh, still. Alright. Alright, I think it'll be perfect then. Just gotta get a little box. Alright, well. Yeah, we're good. Well, what happened to you just went... I get up again, damn it. Back over the damn kitchen, damn it. Ah. Damn it. Paula, what are you doing?
Pulling the speedboat.
Way down to Whitstable in Kent. They parked up near the harbour. And they got the boat out. They were manoeuvring around the harbour in the boat.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Somebody there?
Cellophane gloves. It was clearly a crude attempt to try not to leave behind fingerprints on the boat.
They're doing something here that's connected to the robbery.
And then Lee Wellham turned up with the dome. He was looking at a river. The one common feature of this gang is escape on a river. The River Thames is obviously an escape route.
So it became obvious very quickly that they were gonna target the actual vault inside the dome.
It was just something that you couldn't comprehend. You couldn't imagine that anybody would attempt it.
A job of that scale, with that amount of risk, was unprecedented.
Now we knew where it was going to happen. The only thing that I don't know is the how and the when. And the how and the when is what kept me awake at night. I couldn't switch off from it because I wasn't quite sure what my enemy was thinking of. I'd get up at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'd go down to the dome and think, if I was going to do it, when would I want to do it? I wondered if they were going to go in the middle of the night. But at night the vault became impregnable. And ultimately that meant the only time they could do it was when the vault was open. And that would be when members of the public were being admitted to it.
From what we knew about these robbers, we knew that they were prepared to shoot at unarmed police officers. So members of the public could be in danger.
The whole thing was going to be extremely dangerous if we did catch them in the act. You run serious risk of members of the public being injured, hostages being taken. We needed to be
don't know why I made 2 sandwiches. I think I only needed 1.
Our tactics, the way we're going to deal with this.
But
It's so high risk.
we're here now.
The easiest thing would be for me to get De Beers to remove the diamond. That would have stopped the job. But what it wouldn't have stopped was them finding another target, and on that target we may not be able to stop them and cover the public as killed. So the game plan was but we had to safely put a barrier between the suspects and the members of the public who might be in the vicinity. The safest place is always going to be an area where they're contained, which was in this case the vault itself.
If they could get them inside the vault, they couldn't go anywhere. So they couldn't cause any harm to anybody, as long as obviously nobody else was in there.
I had a meeting with senior management at the time. I was asked, how can we guarantee the safety of this operation? And our answer was that the plans that we are drawing up would ensure that there would be nobody at risk. And they said, stop thinking like a policeman, start thinking like a parent whose child got shot during a day trip to the dome. How would you answer that?
The flying squad were saying, look, there's going to be a robbery. We need to put 100 armed officers into the dome. Oh, by the way, we don't want you to close down the thing. We want you to actually have visitors coming in while we do it. Even us as seasoned tactical people were saying, well, this is never going to get off the ground.
They wanted us to sign responsibility, that it was our decision. So if anybody gets injured in here, the flying squad will be held to account for this.
If this goes badly, could have repercussions for the flying squad. Because there's a possibility they could have been disbanded.
We were dealing with a lot of scrutiny. So we had to get it right. But even the best laid plan can go wrong.
I'm sat in my office. News editor comes in and he tells me that the Millennium Dome is going to be robbed of £300 million worth of jobs. What? It must have been really difficult inside the flying squad to keep this secret. But we had brilliant contacts and we found out about it. That's what journalists do. So I pick up the phone to the flying squad and break the very bad news to them that I knew all about their top secret undercover operation.
My senior officer called me on a Friday night. His words to the effect were, I've got some bad news for you.
They were absolutely appalled that I knew about it. But what could they do? This was their problem, not mine.
We were so close that we could taste it. And my fear was that if we'd lost it in the final hurdle, we would never get a second chance.
They asked me simply not to run the story. They would tell me all about it afterwards. I said no. I wanted more. I wanted to be there for the bust. Do a deal with me. Or see it all melt away.
If we stonewall this, they could very, very easy blow the operation.
The deal was that my reporter and photographer would be first on the scene. They would have full access to all information about what had happened. This was a big, fucking exciting story. And it was going to sell a lot of newspapers.
Leave my cat alone, Isis. I'm like, yeah, I'm out just eat them all. Ain't nothing left.
We're all ready to go.
Fuck it.
Everything's in position.
I ain't gonna be like the kids. They always leave some crumbs behind.
I'm quite excited that we've got to get it.
Talking about, I ain't eating, Ma.
It's weeks and weeks and weeks of planning. And lots and lots of money invested in it as well. But we got to a point about 3 months into it when you start thinking, are we being followed? Are we being watched? You do start looking over your shoulder and you think someone's watching you and it does make you a bit edgy, you know?
Do you have any coping mechanism?
Cocaine? Fueled on that for a bit, yeah. I just blocked it out. Because you still want the job to go on. So fuck it, let's do it.
The 6th of November. The JCB was taken all the way up to southeast London, where it was placed in a coal yard that was within visual sight of the dome. The boat was then brought and taken to the far side of the river. So we knew that the job was on for the next day.
It's like, right, it's happening, they're moving. We knew what they were going to do. We just didn't know how they were going to do it.
I was convinced and reassured that our plan would be effective, that it would counter all the what-if contingencies. But there's always that niggling doubt. That perhaps there's something that I don't know. Could we have it wrong?
I got you. Okay, okay. Well, when I'm done, I'm gonna feed you. I'm sorry. I got you, okay, go to the left.
We arrived at the dome, we backed the truck in up to the emergency exit that led down to the basement area. Posted lookouts, and then we waved them down. We needed guys fully equipped, immediately on scene when the robbers went in to commit the armed robberies.
Oh,
We could catch
yeah.
with their fingers in the till. In addition to that, there'll be myself and 3 other guys disguised as cleaners. These people were dangerous people, so the members of the public could have been in danger if we'd ended up in some sort of firefight. We managed it to the nth degree to minimise the if not eliminate that danger. But there's always something that can go wrong. There's always something that you might not have thought of.
I couldn't sleep that night because obviously a real big thing's going to happen the next day. Everything was going through my head. If it's going to be alright, if this is going to happen, if the boat's going to be on time, if everybody's going to be in place, all that sort of stuff, you know. But I was feeling very positive. Really did think it was going to work.
Everything was at the go position for us to catch them stealing the diamonds. The criminals were still totally unawares we were there, but I was fearful in case there was an element that we hadn't known about and that we were going to be surprised.
The pressure on the flying squad was tremendous. We knew these men had already fired weapons at police officers. What if they pulled guns and started firing indiscriminately to try to escape? That if this went wrong, it would be a disaster for the flying squad. That I knew either way, we would have a pretty great story.
The flying squad organised a briefing at 2 o'clock in the morning for everybody involved. There was kind of a nervous excitement, I think. Because we all wanted this to happen, you know, we've been building up to this for months and it was a real sense of anticipation.
You can see all the different organisations all looking around at each other going, you know, today's the day, it's going to be good.
This gang were planning on pulling off the largest robbery in world history, and if we were going to catch these people and convict them, we needed to catch them in the act. We also had to think about the safety of others. Our plan had been to catch them at the vault, because then they were an enclosed environment. There was no backdrop where people could get injured by stray gunfire that was going off.
My role was to be in the vicinity of the vault. I was dressed as dome staff, and at the time the vault was closed for cleaning to make sure that no members of the public were in there when the attack happened.
I was in my car, just inside the bridge of the dome, and I had direct line of communication with SO19 and also John Swinfield, who was in the control room at the dome.
The dome had something like 130 cameras in there, and we had outside broadcast cameras, as well as helicopter coverage giving what we call heli-telly. All that was being fed into the main control room, where I was sitting, so I could see where they were at any time, and I had a clear perspective of what was happening. And De Beers had constant CCTV that watched the vault.
When the robbers entered the vault, I was to give the code word Jaguar. I can tell you quite honestly, I was very excited by the very fact that, you know, these bad men were going to be nabbed on the job. I want these robbers caught, because they've given me a headache for the whole year.
But at this stage, we still weren't aware how they were actually going to do the ultimate robbery.
That's it for me.
My job was to plan how to steal the diamonds.
Feed the doggy style.
The plan was for Ray
Y'all ready to eat too, huh?
to drive the JCB.
They're ready to eat. Man, come on, man. I turned my tummy so empty, huh? I got you, baby, okay?
During the daytime,
I got you.
you can see a lot more attention. So, to create a distraction once the JCB was in, we came up with the idea to throw smoke grenades to make a screen. They'd have about 5 minutes to get into the dome, steal the diamonds, get down to the water before the police turn up. Plenty of time.
Hey. What's that?
Over here to the other side of the river, waiting to pick everyone up.
Man in position.
Kevin Meredith was in the boatway on the Thames here.
Boats in position.
And I'm lying low to keep my head down and just waiting for that call. Come and pick your money up.
The dome opens at 9 a.m. And the members of the public were coming in. The next thing we hear is that the JCB is on the move from its forward position, which is about a mile away. So the attack is imminent.
All units stand by. Silver Command, Operation Magician. We are now active.
We'd heard over our communications that the digger was making its way towards the perimeter of the dome.
The surveillance team were positioned around the main entrance. We naturally thought that is likely to be the best way in.
The JCB takes up a position behind a fence. We still didn't know what we were planning with the JCB.
Me and my colleague, we were like, what's it doing? Are they going to drop people off? What's the purpose of it?
We're all ready to go.
5 minutes. Be ready.
Roger that.
Let's do it.
All units, we are now state red.
Uh-oh. What's happening?
There was CCTV, but inside, I wasn't sure about where it was. I knew it was somewhere in the vicinity. We both started to walk towards the outer skin of the dome. We both stood there for probably 30 seconds or so and had a look out, couldn't see anything.
All of a sudden, it just goes over this huge bollard like it was a twig. It was only then, before it smashes through the heavy steel gate, that finally realised exactly what they were going to do next. But by then, it was too late.
We just ran. It was so unexpected.
They've crashed through the dome.
Smashing through the dome wasn't something we planned for. So had the attack gone in at that point, it would have been armed officers attacking a tank.
Bill and Bob go into the vault. Aldo jumps out and starts throwing smoke grenades to distract the cameras. Bill with a Hilti gun and smash through the glass. Bob puts the sledge out and starts smashing to get the diamonds out. Once they've grabbed the diamonds, they all run down to the boatway on the Thames.
You got away or what for a moment?
Boat goes across the Thames. Where Terry's waiting for him in the van. Van takes off. Fuck yeah, they've done it!
That's not how it went down. I don't think so. It is.
That's how it was supposed to happen.
That's not how it happened.
Things don't always work out as a plan, do they?
All units, stand by.
We are now in state red.
It's on, it's happening. Now we're like, look at that. We've got to get to a final assault position.
And letting them get into the vault and do it, they were fishing about.
When the robbers entered the vault, that was when I gave the alarm.
Jaguar.
Strike, strike, strike.
This is it.
Oh, they got him already.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the river,
Oh,
flying squad officers had descended on Millman and arrested him in the van.
oh. Oh, everybody got
By
caught.
that time, the SO-19 ribs have closed in on the boat.
Everybody got caught.
That the scene had been secured and it was confirmed that all the suspects had been arrested.
Damn.
An operation into Monster Plan was over in about 3 minutes. We got the result. With everybody accounted for. Apart from Lee Willem.
I was waiting to get a call from Ray to say he's done it with Millionaires. He hadn't called, so I was starting to get a bit worried. I was just feeling very anxious, listening to the radio in the car, see if I can hear anything on there, felt the raid going on. Got to the farm, police everywhere. And then the policeman put a gun through the window and dragged me out of the car and arrested me. It all happened so quick, your head's spinning. Then it sinks in, fuck it, I've lost all that money, you know. I was going to be a millionaire. And then it's gone. And that's the game you take. You play with fire, you get burnt. And I got burnt. When it's about martial remand. Because my dad provided the farm as a safe house, they arrested him too. Whatever possessions you have, that they take away from you. Put you through a scanner, strip searched, given a number, and then basically you're just shown to your wing. I felt pretty shit. As a youngster, I wanted to be like my dad and his mates. I just wanted to respect him and do something with my life. So it was fucking gutting, terrible feeling. But as we walked on to the wing, the whole fucking wing was standing up and clapping. So to get that respect from them people, it felt great, yeah. But then reality hit, you realise where you are. Fuck, I'm in prison.
I'm in prison. I'm in the
There's
slammer.
all manner of things going for your mind, but the first thing is you're not going to be there for your kids. And you're not going to see them for a long time. Because I knew I've got at least 10 or 15 years coming now, inside them. It made me feel terrible my kids had to go through that. The first few weeks I handled it pretty well, to be honest, because I had my dad there. Then I got a letter from my daughter. It came with colour photographs of my daughters. As soon as I saw their faces, it just brought it all back to me. What I'm missing, and then kids missing from me. You know, I'm not there to look after them.
I noticed he wasn't around for a few days. Dan and my mum sat me down and she was like, oh, Daddy's gone away for a while, but he's going to be fine. And that was, you can't wrap your head around, well, suddenly he's gone.
If this raid had been successful, it would have been the biggest diamond heist in the world.
I remember seeing it on TV for the first time. And your heart dropping.
4 men tried to steal £200 million worth of diamonds from the Millennium Dome.
Despite all of its planning, the gang was simply outsmarted by police, who were always one step ahead, ensuring this audacious attempt was doomed from the beginning.
Never wanted my kids to know what I was up to. And I tried to hide it as much as I could, yeah. I made me feel a bit ashamed, you know, for them to be put through that. When I first got charged for the dome robbery, I didn't think they was going to come down hard, because I was only at the bottom of the chain. You know, all I'd done was the planning. There was no guns used, and I wasn't actually on the robbery. But then Kent Police charged me with the Elsford robbery. It was a bit worrying, to be honest, because there was guns used. They said there was some DNA in the back of the getaway van. And the severity of the robbery, I was looking at 25 to 30 years for that robbery. Looking at that kind of time, it's obviously it's scary for anyone. It's a long, long time but inside, isn't it? So the dome trial was set for November. But because me and my dad charged with both the dome and Elsford, we couldn't be tried with the others.
Trial is a living thing. You never know what's going to happen. And this is probably one of the most exceptional cases there's ever been. Certainly one that I've been involved in.
Damn, fell off like a CP all of a sudden. What's going on?
Arriving at court, some of the defendants accused of trying to pull off the biggest robbery robbery in the world, possibly the millennium.
There was spectacular press interest.
5 men have been jailed in England over what could have been the world's biggest